If I get this wrong, then you guys can really give me you can really give it to me in the comments below. I'm Matthew Horkey. For the last 7 years, I've traveled around the world tasting thousands of wines annually in search of the most unique, exciting, and expensive bottles on the planet. We're going to jump right into it. I've got Caymus, the wine us wine geeks love to hate, and a lot of people love, versus a very well-respected wine from the south of France, the Grand Cru of the Languedoc, Mas de Daumas Gassac, both 2020, both based on Cabernet Sauvignon. This is the second face-off we're doing. I'm going to keep them short. I'm going to make this a little intimate conversation, a little relationship between you and me. And since we are friends, I guess now I'll just let you know, last weekend was my 40th birthday, turned the big 4-0. Caymus is a wine that a lot of casual drinkers, a lot of people that have expense accounts like to order off the wine list. It's big, bold, fruity, by the Wagner family, 2020. It's a Napa Cabernet Sauvignon, a blend of fruit from all the AVAs. I don't know what the actual blend of 2020. Remember, in California, in the USA, the wine only has to be 75% Cabernet Sauvignon, and they can still call it a variety wine. Mas de Daumas Gassac was founded by Aimé Guibert. He was a star in the film Mondovino.
Soyons clairs, le vin est mort.
I was at the estate in October, and I did taste 2020 from the barrel. But my goodness, that was a long time ago. Now it's in the bottle. This is 71% Cabernet Sauvignon, 6% Syrah, 5% Ternat, 3% Merlot, 3% Cabernet Franc, 3% Petit Verdot, 3% Pinot Noir, 2% Nebbiolo, 2% Dolcetto, 2% Malbec, and a bunch of other little varieties peppered in. Whew. Expect this wine to be a little bit leaner. This is coming in at 13.5% alcohol. This is coming in at 14.4%. So when I taste these blind, I'm going to think that the richer one probably is going to be the Caymus, but you know what? Could be surprised. And who knows, this is a wine I like to poo-poo on. Maybe if you saw my overrated, underrated Napa episode.
Now a picky one, Caymus.
Caymus! That's the wine that everybody kind of likes. That's the wine you get the steakhouses, expense accounts. That wine is completely overrated. It's a wine that you will absolutely hate. Maybe I end up preferring it in a blind tasting. Both these wines are similar price. I've seen the Caymus anywhere from $71 to $85 US here in the States. Mas de Daumas Gassac I've seen for around $70 in the US if you can find it. It's a lot cheaper if you can get it in France. I thought this would be a fun little comparison. Napa Cabernet Sauvignon has the reputation of being big, bold, and fruity, and while that is the case, producers in recent years have really dialed back in the alcohol, tried to make more leaner wines. However, Mas de Daumas Gassac, even though they don't like to play on power, they are in the south, in the Languedoc, where it is a little bit of a warmer climate. When it comes to red wines, the area is known more for GSM blends, Grenache, Syrah, Mourvedre, but you know what? This is a great wine and ages super well. Once again, when I'm tasting these wines, your preference might be different than mine. This is just what I prefer. This is just my palate. Okay, I used my trusty Coravin on these. I had somebody bag them up, switch the order for me, so I don't know which one is which. I'm scared that the Caymus will win and I'll look like a hypocrite. I've had some wonderful Napa Cabernet Sauvignons, but generally I prefer Bordeaux European wines in general because they're usually a little bit leaner, a little more acidic, a little more tannin. But let's see here. Let's all talk until you're tasting blind, I guess. Let's see here. Okay, this one here on the left, first of all, it is not too fruity. You still get the classic Cabernet flavors of, blackberry, cassis, a little bit of burnt rubber. This is a little bit stemmy even. I don't get an obnoxious amount of oak on this, so already I'm leaning towards that this might be France, but I gotta taste the two side by side. We'll see. Peppery, this is super complex. It just smells like it's not as big, so, I might think that this is a French wine. Let's see. Palate's a different story. It's so funny. That's why wines can fool you up front. It smelled quite complex and actually quite nice. It didn't smell like it'd be huge, but on the palate, it is really oaky. Then again, both these wines, 2020, young. These are wines that, the Caymus is made to be a little more approachable. The Mas de Daumas Gassac is meant to be a wine that you lay down for a little bit longer. But right now, this is a little bit oaky, but the nose was really nice on this. Let's go with the one here on the right. Okay, now let me see it. Okay. Now it's not even close. This is much more darker fruit, cassis, a little bit. Now the mocha comes out a lot more when you taste next to this one. That's why it's useful if you really want to learn about wine, is to taste a couple of wines together. You'll learn a lot more because you have contrast. This has a little bit more red fruit. There is some black fruit still, some black plum, some blackberry, but also get some red cherry in here. Pepper, earth. It just doesn't smell as fruity. This smells more soily. If I get this wrong, then you guys can really give me you can really give it to me in the comments below. This is a lot more tannins, more kind of medium bodied, where this is just a huge, massive wine. The oak stands out on this quite a bit. I think a lot of people are gonna like this wine because the oakiness, the mocha-ness, but for me, this feels like full-on heavy cream if you put it in your mouth. This is more like skim to whole milk, I guess, depending on where you're getting it. You ready for the reveal? Okay, what should I start with? I thought this one was Caymus. Let's see here. Let me see here. Which one did I prefer? I obviously preferred this one, and if it's Caymus, I'm gonna laugh. It is not. This, I was right. The one on the left is Caymus. Look, just because I don't like it as much doesn't mean that you're not gonna like it. There are a lot of people that love this wine. Some people that say, hey, you don't know what you're talking about, so whatever. But I'm glad I got this right. Yes, this is the Daumas Gassac 2020. Much preferred this wine. I think this wine is actually pretty darn drinkable now, but it's gonna be a lot better with time. So tell me, when you were playing along, did you get these right? Which style of wine do you prefer? Have you had either one before? Drop it in the comments below. And also, let me know if you like this face-off series. Thanks a lot. I'll see you soon.